Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2022. This is going to be a good year because there's a ton of great music coming out and a ton of great records for us all to find. So in this video, I'm going to do my annual 7 grails that I'm looking to get this year. Now, we all have our holy grails that we want on our want list. Every year, I do a list of 7 that are my top wants and that are my goals for the year. And a couple years ago, I did pretty well. Last year, didn't do so well, but I did find 2 of them. I'll show you the 2 I found, and then I'll tell you some that are leaving the list, the ones that are still there, and then we'll dig into the 7 that I'm looking for. But ultimately, I'd love to hear what you're looking for, so leave a comment with whatever grails are on the top of your list. All right, the 2 I found. First up, we have a 7-inch box set, minus the box, of My Chemical Romance's conventional weapons. Each one comes on a different colored disc. They have big jukebox style holes in the middle, and this is the unreleased, unfinished album that was never officially part of what they considered to be their studio albums. But I will say this, these songs are some of my favorite MCR songs outside of Black Parade, and I just think this album deserves to have a full LP release. It is a huge pain in the ass to continuously flip every song to listen to an album. I hate 7-inch box sets, but the only way to get this is through the 7-inch box set. That being said, it is very hard to find this box set. It almost never pops up for sale. This is missing the little poster it came with and the outer box, but ultimately, it's all about the music. Discs are in amazing condition. I actually got it from a trade from someone in the TMR community, so shout out to Jake. You should check out his band, Shoegazers. They're very good if you like kind of alt-rock, pop-punk type stuff. Thank you for working out a trade with me. Stoked to have these off the list now, but I will pick up a full LP if they ever just put out a regular record, because this is such a pain. And then this one's definitely a rarity. This is prior to her announcing her version of the redo, but this is Taylor Swift's Red, which is my second favorite Taylor Swift record. If you watched my discography ranking, you would know that. But there's a strike through on the back. What's going on there? That's because this is the American Country Music Awards promo copy on red vinyl. This is one of the holy grails for Taylor Swift fans, and I was able to get this for a pretty fair price compared to what it goes for. These days it goes for in the thousands. Definitely got a significantly better deal than that, but this is not to be confused with the redo with the Target red exclusive, which I'm sure eventually will go for a lot of money, but right now this is kind of the holy grail. It's one of my favorite albums, and I've been tracking down this version for a while. It's missing the outer box that it came with. It was like a cardboard container that says, like, you know, for your consideration type stuff. But right now, you know, the discs are all that matter, and I was happy to finally track one down. And there's 2 that are coming off the list begrudgingly. The first is the Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs Boston self-titled. I love that album, and obviously I love Mobile Fidelity, but I have heard that the MoFi pressing, while it sounds great, is not significantly better than some of the other recent represses by some labels. I know Friday Music apparently did a very good repress recently that's pretty affordable. I don't know if it's worth the $300-400 that it goes for the MoFi. I think I might just pull it off the list, and if it ever gets a repress, grab it, but until then, track down one of these modern reissues that are apparently great. Let me know in the comments if you have experience with the MoFi and you're telling me I'm making a mistake, but it's so expensive for something that might not sound significantly better than another version that's way cheaper. And sadly, pour one out for the homie. We are saying goodbye to the Soundgarden Super Unknown 320 German pressing. It's been on my list for 2 years in a row for this video. It's never going to pop up. I've never seen it really pop up, and especially I would want it in near mint condition. I wouldn't want a damaged copy, but it's so hard to find, and I've heard from people who own the 320 pressing. Some of you are watching this video right now because you very kindly let me know that you own it, but will never trade it or sell it. You say it sounds great and probably better than the other pressings, but not noticeably so, to the point where it's worth really trying to track it down. Maybe one day I'll go to Germany and do a video specifically on the hunt for it, but for now, it's off the list. And you know, that's probably when it'll show up. And I'm still looking for 3, but they're not gonna be a part of this list. I'm looking for Morcheeba's Who Can You Trust? Amazing trip-hop record from one of my favorite trip-hop artists. I'm looking for lemonjelly.ky, amazing electronic record, really hard to find. I've never seen it in a store, never seen it pop up for a fair price, but who knows. And then Slipknot's Iowa, which if I had to be a betting man, I bet you we would see a repress this year. Not gonna guarantee it, but I think it's a fairly safe bet. So now we got 7 new grails to get excited about. These are the ones that I am trying to track down the most. Obviously, the amount of grails I want is a lot higher than 7. However, it's nice to have a target, and hopefully I can hit some of these before the end of 2022. First is Funkadelic Maggot Brain, and I'm not looking for a repress, I'm looking for a clean, near mint copy of an original press from the original release year. Now, these are not easy to find. If you go on Discogs, people are asking $90, $100 for beat to crap copies of originals. This is kind of a challenge for me as a future record store owner. I'm going to be looking out for these in collections, especially. It would be really cool to stumble upon one in someone's collection, but that's probably the only way I'll find one, because right now to find a clean original press, you are going to be paying crazy money. I don't even see them, because whenever they show up, people buy them. This is an album that's definitely a challenging listen, but it's extremely important to the musical landscape. The artists that it influenced, like even Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love, is heavily influenced by Funkadelic, and this album, like I said, is not a super relaxing listen. It's definitely a little heavy, but I think the only way to hear it is probably spinning it on the turntable and really giving it the time and due it deserves. I know that a lot of the represses that are more readily available sound terrible in comparison. I know people that have originals and they say they really just don't even hold a candle, especially the Four Men with Beards pressing, which is a label that all of you should probably avoid. Their reissues are notoriously bad, so we will see. And then we're talking about a Rage Against the Machine self-titled original pressing. Again, another one that has a lot of reissues around, but the original press, which Bob Ludwig had his hand in, supposedly, according to everyone on Discogs who has written comments about it, sounds leaps and bounds better than anything else that the album has come out on, any format. It's supposedly so punchy, so separated instrumentally, and it just has the heaviness and the warmth of vinyl in addition to the incredible music. So I am trying to track down a clean copy. Most copies available now are pretty beat up. I mean, it's a record from '92. People probably didn't take the best care of them back in the day, especially as the CD was on the rise. They're like, I don't want this disc. If you can find a clean copy, it's usually between $250 and $400, which is not great, but hopefully I can track one down, because I would love to hear what this sounds in the proper format it was intended in. Then we have Aphex Twin Analord with the case. So if you guys can see back there, I have a copy of Aphex Twin's Drugs, one of my favorite records, and a really difficult record to store because the box is like that and it makes no sense. I would have loved to have seen that in a record store back in the day. How they displayed them, I have no idea. Anyway, Analord is a project that Richard did that was basically all analog recording. He stripped away any digital things he had learned and just went purely analog, which obviously is something I appreciate. And it is 11 discs of material. And what happened is he released the discs separately, but then he also created this really beautiful, I think it's a leather binder that has pages inside that you can put all the discs in. To find a complete binder with discs in a good condition, you're going to be paying easily $1,500, if not more. I would love to somehow stumble upon this for a fair price. This is probably the hardest Grail on my list to get, but while I haven't heard everything of this project, the songs I have heard, there are some of my favorite Aphex Twin songs, and I would love to have this entire compilation as a collector's piece, but also to spend like a weekend just going through it. I think that would be a really fun and transcendent experience, but who knows if I'll ever stumble upon it. Rufus Wainwright, Want 2. This is an album that I have wanted since I got into collecting records, and every year I tell myself, oh, it's gonna get a repress. Oh, this is the year it gets a repress. And every year I am wrong. Unfortunately, this is since 2004, never had a repress, and this is an amazing record. I think this is his second best record next to Poses. The opening track, Agnus Dei, is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my entire life. It's really challenging to get to the beautiful part. It's like really like creepy, and then it all of a sudden bursts into this absolutely gorgeous finale. I want to hear that on vinyl more than anything. So I'm hoping it gets a repress, because right now copies are usually easily triple digits, if not higher, but I almost never see it pop up either. So if you're listening to this, Geffen, repress it. Llanne Havas, Is Your Love Big Enough? I discovered her incredible soulful R&B stylings when she did her cover of Radiohead's Weird Fishes, which is magnificent, and I cannot wait to finally track down her first album. It is such a good record. I've really gone down the rabbit hole of enjoying every album she's put out, but the first record and the self-titled are just so special, and the first record is insanely hard to find. A couple 2012 pressings, a 2017 pressing. You think that it maybe would have gotten reasonable because there's multiple pressings? Incorrect. As you can see, they go from 150 to 400, but I almost never see it show up either, so this is something where I'm like, come on, Warner Music, major label, repress this. She's hot now. People are really into her because her new album got her a lot more acclaim. Give us the repress. I'm gonna butcher this. Mahoroboshlya. totally screwed that up. This is by Ichiko Aoba, who is one of my favorite musicians lately. I feel like I've been really going back to her stuff frequently. Japanese musician who has this most incredible, powerful voice that's met with really sparse, beautiful acoustic guitar underneath. While I can't understand the lyrics, I feel so much emotion when I listen to her music, and I think you can really start anywhere in her discography and jump around, and you'll probably find something you like very quickly. That being said, this is the only album of hers I do not own that is on vinyl. It has been out of print for a very long time, and I'm hoping it gets a repress, because some of the other earlier records on Speedstar label did get a repress, but this one has eluded that fate, unfortunately. The median's like $67, but some dum-dum paid $680 for one once. Absolutely ruined the market, because now the cheapest available is over $700. So some dum-dum paid that. If you're the dum-dum, unsubscribe from my channel. You're ruining everything. Hopefully that does not become the trending price forever, and maybe it'll get a repress. I doubt I'll find one for a good price because of that, but I'm always going to be on the hunt. And finally, The Whitest Boy Alive, Dreams. The Whitest Boy Alive is a side project of Erland Oy, who is one half of Kings of Convenience. Whitest Boy Alive is a little more kind of lo-fi, a little dreamier than KOC, which is a little more acoustic guitar, harmony-based, bossa nova style stuff. This is such a great project, and this album is the best thing they've done, and it's been out of print for such a long time. 2007 album goes for $400, $500, as you can see, which is insane, and then the repress in 2013, you think it would be cheaper, it's not. It also goes for that. So I heard rumblings of a repress of this last year. It did not come to fruition, so I'm hoping that maybe it was just part of the delays and they're going to surprise everyone. There's so much money to be left on the table because fans of him and Kings of Convenience and just music in general know how good this album is, and if you don't know how good it is, go listen to it and then join me in the mourning of not having a readily available version on vinyl. Those are my 7 grails for the year that I'm hoping to get, and at the end of the year I'll give you the recap of if I found them. But the hunt is on. If you ever see one for a good price, hit me up, and make sure you drop a comment below with anything you're looking for. I always like to see what's on the top of your guys' list. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to do another video this week with albums looking forward to coming out this year, so stick around for that. And if you're not subscribed to Too Many Records, make sure you do so, because this is going to be a big year for the channel. Record store, more stuff with the record label, great videos. Stick around, it's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.